Welcome back to the re.think podcast. This is where we pause, reflect, and explore new ways to think about leadership, connection, and what makes the world go around. We do this by asking ourselves, what's a better way to connect? Relationship intelligence was created to help people turn the toughest moments, conflict, into connection. Rethink was developed as a master skill to become more relationally intelligent. Rethinking is all about thinking with connection in mind. Whether you're a seasoned leader or someone navigating personal growth or a little bit of both, the Rethink podcast is meant to help you improve your ability to take action with mutual benefit, strengthen your relationships with your team, with your loved ones, and even yourself. Today, a great topic, the power of us. This is about taking a common issue about how we have a tendency to overattend to other people's needs, forget about ourselves, and by doing so, become relationally exhausted. What we're missing out on is the ability to think from a mutual perspective. This is why I created the relationship triangle model. So I'm going to go to my iPad right now and draw a triangle. Simple, beautiful diagram. And the face of this particular triangle represents something that's more important than anything else on planet Earth. And it has to do with a four-letter word called self. That's right. Your sense of self is more vital to you than anything else around you, and it needs to be. You taking care of yourself is the best thing for everything else around you. But there has to be more than just your sense of self, because this is an interpersonal world. It's dynamic. There's people in your personal life, there's people in your professional life, and we have to learn how to interact with those people. Now, some of us do it very, very naturally, but even the best of us run into conflict when things no longer go according to plan. And that's what relationship intelligence is all about. The power of us model is a small glimpse into the world of relationship intelligence. So now that we have this one face of the triangle, let's expand it. Let's go back to it and go from a triangle, like magic, turn it into a pyramid. And that's what this model is all about. It's about beginning to understand that there's multiple dimensions in the relational world. Of course, there's your sense of self. There's also, on the other side of this pyramid, on the dark side of the pyramid, if you will, the one that you will never know as much as you want to, is the other person in your life, that key relationship. Now, you would think, okay, we could stop here and have a nice little model, there's self and other, and I think that's self-explanatory. But let's make this a little bit more playful. Let's connect self with other and see what we have. If you haven't already been 2 steps ahead of me, you'll see that I put the 2 letters in there, and it's US, it's us. So when you combine self with other, you get this amazing phenomenon. It's called us. The usness in your life is the one thing that you cannot give yourself. It's the one thing that you need, want, desire, and deserve more than anything else, and it's depending on another person. This is where relationships become a little fragile. But here's a couple of the keys to it all. When you focus on your sense of self and you improve your health, your balance, you're in a better position then to shift your focus just a little bit and move it towards us. Now, what's so great about just this level of this particular model is you do not have to think about the other person. I know that sounds awkward, it might sound incorrect and all of that, but if they're attending to their sense of self and you're attending to your sense of self, we have 2 healthy versions of self. But just like you need an us, so does your other person in your life. What's interesting about this model is we have to take it one step more. we have to build into this pyramid that third dimension. Because just like on the opposite of self is other, there has to be something on the other side of us, and that's them. I don't mean that in a negative way at all. We all have them in our lives. We have our family members. We have our colleagues. We have the people that we do ride-alongs with. We have them. And sometimes them need to be a priority. Sometimes your sense of self needs to be a priority. And sometimes your other person in your life needs to be a priority by shifting your focus from self to us. So let's go back to this model and draw 3 arrows. 1 to yourself, 1 to us, and 1 to them. Now, what's really great about this visual model so far, to really enhance your understanding of what relationship intelligence is all about and how to think with connection in mind, when you think about your sense of self and you need something, let's say you just need a meal because you're hungry and you attend to that need, you've done exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You're attending to that which is most important. But then it could shift and something else could be important. Getting back to our story, maybe your partner is having a bad day. And so you shift your attention from your sense of self to us. And you ask yourself, what can I do to improve my connection with the other person so that their bad day isn't as heavy? Now, what you're doing by bringing home flowers or doing whatever you need to do, maybe taking your turn to make a meal, whatever you're doing, you're thinking about what the other person needs, but by doing so, you're doing it in a way that the connection between you and the other person is strengthened. And when that happens, what's happening inside the mind of the other person is amazing. It's totally invisible, but totally amazing. And they're experiencing this sensation of, you get me, and I matter. And those are the 2 most fundamental factors built into relationship intelligence. Do you get me? And do I matter? We're all looking for partnership, whether it's professional partnership, whether it's with a boss, subordinates, or even colleagues. Whether it's with your siblings, with your parents, or with your loved ones. We're looking for making connections with people who get us and who remind us that we matter, especially when we're not feeling as though we matter. That's an important last point. We don't need to be reminded that we matter when we're all on board with it. When you're safe and secure, your rudder's totally in the water, and you're feeling like you matter, you don't really need the outside world to remind you of that because you're doing a good job all by yourself. But when that rudder comes out a little bit, and that little boat of your life gets a little rocky, and it's beginning to become a little misdirected, and the other person does something to remind you that you matter, then all of a sudden, you feel more balanced as a result of what the other person has done for us. So we have this model where you're giving to your sense of self, you're giving to an us, and you're giving to them. To take this model 1 step further, please understand that the key relationship in your life, again, whether it's with a coworker or with your life partner, they also need to put energy into their self as they put energy into their relationship with you, your us, and realizing that also they need to put energy and time into their them. Having an understanding and greater clarity of this 3-dimensional model gives you a better understanding of not only just what to do, but what the other person needs to do. If your loved one, if your life partner, for instance, is being unstable, being uncertain because something's going on in their life that doesn't involve you, begin to realize, do they need to take care of themselves a little bit better? And what can you do to foster that? Number 2, maybe someone in their lives needs more time and attention. Perhaps they have a sickly father who needs a visit, who needs an opportunity to connect with their daughter, who happens to be your life partner. If so, then that's the green light that must be given. So you have to realize you do have control over your sense of self, what you give to us and what you give to them. But by focusing your energy on the power of us, allows the other person to do the exact same thing and to get their most important needs, what I call their primal needs, attended to and met. So they get rebalanced. And when they're rebalanced, they're in a better place to give back so that everyone experiences mutual benefit. So when we take the power of us and begin to activate this model, I challenge you to ask yourself, what's the most important thing today? Do I need something? Does my relationship with an important, meaningful other need something? Do I need to attend to people in my outside world? Be more deliberate. Be intentional with who you're giving your energy to and who you're identifying as being most important. And by doing so, something amazing happens. This is one of the most fundamental ways to establish and reestablish a connection with your people in your lives, even with yourself. And when that connection is established and your connection becomes primary, then communication can flow. That's my way of saying connection always precedes communication. We'll talk about in future episodes how when those two things get inverted and people try to communicate in order to connect, it doesn't go very well. I think world politics is proving that out at this particular time. Perhaps not just now, but always has been. Putting connection first so that we can communicate is vital to the understanding that the end result is going to be mutual benefit. So my call to action to you is to begin to consciously decide what you're going to do with your energy today. Look at your key relationships and even the relationship you have with yourself and those people around you and saying, what's my next step? You have to remember, when you do this, it's not about being right. It's about getting it right. So this is where I give you permission to trust your intuition, to look deep inside and ask yourself, what do I need to do? What do I need to do so at the end of the day, I feel connected with the most important people in my life? We're going to talk in future episodes also about how to more pragmatically turn conflict into connection. But this episode, preceded by the one where it has to do with the origin of you. We took the origin of you, we combined it with the power of us, and this becomes the foundation of relationship intelligence. You have a responsibility to get to know you at a deep level, your upbringing, your relationship history, the genetic gifts that have been given to you, and your imagination, and how sometimes that can be really helpful and sometimes it could be very distracting. That's what the origin of you was all about. We took that origin of you, and now we've overlaid it with another template called the power of us. That's right. It isn't just about you. It's about the important people in your life and the quality of the interactions that are occurring. And what's really great about this is even when a disconnect occurs and you know that you missed an opportunity for connection, you can always go back. It's never too late to reconnect. And you can do that by saying, I got to thinking about us lately, that things aren't going as well as I thought they should be. What do you need from me? So if I give it to you, you'll be in a better place to give me what it is that I need. And by doing that kind of interaction, everybody changes their focus to us. So I wanted to thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Rethink podcast. This is where we take any topic, any idea, any controversy, and look at it through the lens of relationship intelligence. And by doing so, we turn conflict into connection. The power of rethink is thinking with connection in mind. Just like this last episode, where I'm encouraging you not just to think about yourself, but to think about others, think about us, think about them. That's the power of relationship intelligence. And by doing so, you're going to optimize your leadership. You're going to elevate your relationship. And amazingly, you're also going to boost your confidence. So thanks again for tuning in to this episode. I'll see you next time.